Stranger Things is a show that I've been aware of, and likely you have as well, for a very, 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 very long time. It was one of the first, I don't think it was quite the first Netflix original series to really take off. That might be Narcos or something else that I'm kind of forgetting at this point in time. But yeah, in the mid to late 2010s, I mean, this was a massive thing. That first season to this very day is still widely and highly regarded. Now, as for seasons 2 and 3, it kind of ended up falling off fairly hard. It recovered quite a bit a couple of years ago with season 4, and now that we're heading into season 5, which is wild. It's been over a decade that it's been going, and they're finally wrapping up this story of school-age children, where everybody, as is going to be outlined in this breakdown. But I really just want to focus on a couple of people, because one, the media really wants to be the next big thing, and another, the one who is more central to this story, it's just kind of the latest example in the long line of how the access media is totally scummy, but inside the making of Stranger Things' epic final season. Because yeah, it's actually, it's got a very unique release schedule where it's split into 3 different parts, and they're going to be of feature film length. And I think the finale, because the release schedule is 1 part on Thanksgiving, 1 part out on Christmas, and then the finale on New Year's. So it's that's actually the best way to engage the most amount of people. It also keeps people from just simply opting into a free month of Netflix, and if they want the entire story, at least as it releases, well, they're gonna have to hang on for a little while longer, mostly because, well, I think Netflix wants to recoup some of their losses on this, because I would imagine production was fairly extensive. Because through secondhand means, I've seen some of the trailers, some of the promotional material, and it looks awfully expensive. And so simple subscriptions, even though Netflix is in fact the big dog in the game, they still need a decent ROI on something that obviously looks this expensive. But yes, they are the cover story for Time magazine this month, and that would be a big thing 20, 30 years ago, but at this point in time, I mean, it's just kind of interesting to compare and contrast the different promotional material, because I remember the funny looking kid there with the poodle haircut on, I guess on the left, have to be a little bit more pointed, because as somebody who's never seen the show before, he was always the most prominently marketed character. I don't know, maybe it was because he kind of looked like a human pug hybrid, but okay. As for the rest of them, it's I really don't know. I mean, Sadie Sink, booked herself a gig either as the new and proper Mary Jane moving forward in the Spider-Man movies, or she's going to end up being Jean Grey, which is interesting, and I hear good things about her abilities, so I guess that's a boon. But the other one, and probably the most famous alumni from this show, is Millie Bobby Brown, the world's oldest 21-year-old. But yeah, just taking a couple of excerpts out here. But Brown, 21, wow, okay, had a slightly different experience. The Duffers really got to understand the boy's personality, she says, whereas 11, you can't really write to me because she grew up in a laboratory and she has powers and such a traumatic past. Yes, Brown, unlike the boys, had to face sexism. Oh, that's interesting to highlight, okay. In the spring, she made a video responding to an article that accused her of looking older than her age. Well, she's also, I would imagine, trying to break the expected typecasting that she's going to be a child actor, given the fact that most of her fame was accrued from this show back when she started as a preteen. There are very few that have been able to make that jump, and she wants to try to distance herself from that perception as best and effectively as possible. So the other roles that she has taken that are out there, it's they've been much more mature, but not like that type of mature where she gets her jubblies out, but things that definitely have much more of an air of maturity. So in so much that it was pointed out by people that, holy shit, she's a rough-looking 21. There's got to be some truth to that, because so many people agree with it. But when asked about why she would say to other women who face trolling, she's circumspect, rather. I don't really have much to say on the matter. I'm always going to be a source of advice for the experience I've been through. Brown has carved out a successful career starring in big budget Netflix projects like Damsel. Everybody remembers that one. And has chosen to build a life away from the limelight on a farm in Georgia with her husband and baby. At the time, publication, 86 animals. Yeah, man, good for her. So if Hollywood really doesn't work out for her, at least you got a farm out there, so that's cool. But probably the most disturbing aspect, and why I wanted to read the Millie Bobby Brown, unlike the rest of her castmates, she's had to face sexism. Well, has anybody else had to face this type of weird shit? So navigating the spotlight has been complicated for Noah Schnapp, okay? in part because of an important connection between his character and his real life. Will came out as gay last season, okay, and Schnapp himself came out at 18, but only after spending years struggling to answer questions from journalists about his sexuality. I beg your pardon? When I was younger, I was obviously very scared of talking about it. Yeah, they would pry and ask me, is he gay? Are you gay? I was 12 and 13. I didn't know what to say. The fuck? Why are you positing these types of questions to a 12 and 13-year-old who barely know what the fuck is going on with their body to begin with? And why is it your character's gay, and then you end up coming out as gay as well at the point in time where you didn't quite know what to say and things were running wild? Is this another example of Hollywood just being stuffed to the brim with groomers from every direction? Don't quite know for sure. But yes, moving off to a different article here from That Park Place, theories on fan sites like Reddit and Tumblr regarding Schnapp's character sexuality began immediately after Stranger Things' debut in 2016. Wow. Because Will liked colorful clothing, there we go, was shy, artistic, and seemed to have a close bond with Mike, played by Finn Wolfhard. Some interpreted these traits as subtext. Yeah, sure, a bunch of fucking internet weirdos, huh? Schnapp, at 12, responded to the speculation in a since-deleted Instagram post saying, "For me, Will being gay or not is besides the point. Stranger Things is a show about a bunch of kids who are outsiders." Now see, that's the most measured take that we've seen so far. It's unfortunate that he or his handlers had it deleted because that's pretty bang on. Since this was neither an outright denial or confirmation, his comment only drew more attention to the question of his character's sexuality. It didn't take long for Schnapp to notice that many people online were suggesting he himself was gay. Yeah, because in this point in time, man, you can't really allow people to act. If the character's gay, the actor has to be gay, because otherwise you're, I don't know, sacrificing diversity or some shit like that. And I think it made me hold it down deeper, he told Variety in 2023, because it was kind of being poked and prodded out of me, in such a public way. He added that many of his family and social circle were subtly encouraging him to come out if he was gay. Again, groomer alert, which you didn't appreciate at the time. I was like, I'm straight. I just rejected that idea for so long. This is quite a sad story, man. Even as Schnapp was filming the 4th season of Stranger Things, the actor was still working out his own feelings. However, he told Variety in the same interview that the reception of the season 4 rather changed his perspective. I saw all these comments on Instagram and TikTok where there was not one bad thing about him being gay. It was like, if he has all this support, and why should I worry about anything? Yeah, because here's the thing. If you're a good character, and I've heard conflicting things about him from the show, like I said, I have no point of reference here, no personal point of reference, so maybe he is, maybe he isn't, I don't really care, man. But as long as he resonates with the fan base, if he's gay, it really doesn't matter. If he's straight, it really doesn't matter. If you need that to be the case, that's a you problem. And if the first thing that an interview wants to do is poke and prod at a 12, 13, or hell, even a legal-aged adult, what type of genitalia turns them on, you're probably in the wrong business, and you should probably be on some sort of a federal watch list, if I'm being completely honest. So yeah, this is just yet another example of Hollywood, the access media, producers, and a whole bunch of showrunners being a little bit fucking sus, if you ask me. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.